I got pulled over last year for a cracked windshield, and while the officer was running my plates, I watched him tap something on a mounted tablet I'd never seen before. He came back, handed me a warning, and I drove off. But for about 45 seconds, I sat there wondering whether my car would actually let me. That feeling, it turns out, is closer to reality than I'd like. In 2018, the Supreme Court ruled in Carpenter v. United States that your phone's location data is protected by the Fourth Amendment. There is no case called the Silent Stop. That name floats around online, but it does not correspond to any actual ruling. What did happen was Carpenter, which was decided on June 22nd. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the majority opinion saying something deceptively simple. The government needs a warrant to access your historical cell site location data. Your phone tracks where you go through telematics. The Fourth Amendment protects that information. 6 years earlier, United States v. Jones had already established that GPS tracking devices require warrants too. Done. Except it wasn't done. Because by then, your car had already become a better surveillance tool than your phone. 90% of new vehicles sold today are connected. The modem inside is always on, always communicating with nearby cell towers, always leaving a record, even when the car is parked and you are not subscribed to any service plan. General Motors introduced OnStar's Stolen Vehicle Slowdown feature back in 2008. Once law enforcement confirms a vehicle is stolen through the National Crime Information Center, OnStar can activate the hazard lights, verify the car, and slow it to an idle speed of 3 to 5 miles per hour, remotely, from a desk. Criminology professor Jeffrey Alpert at the University of South Carolina put it plainly: anytime you have the ability to shut down a dangerous pursuit, that's a win for everyone. And in 2021, Congress buried Section 24220 in the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Starting in 2027, every new car sold in America must include technology that passively monitors driver performance and can prevent or limit vehicle operation if impairment is detected. No exceptions. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates this adds $500 to $2,000 per vehicle. Here's where I think about that cracked windshield stop again, the officer's tablet, my engine idling, and the question I couldn't shake. Who else has a hand on this steering wheel? Here's what I want you to think about for a second. Before I go any further, if you had to choose right now, would you rather drive a car that can be remotely slowed down to stop a kidnapping, or one that can never be touched by anyone but you, even if it means more police chases ending the way they always have? Drop it in the comments. And if you want to know what comes next, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because the next video gets into the part most drivers will never hear about. A man got locked out of his own truck in a Costco parking lot holding a rotisserie chicken because his vehicle thought it had been stolen. The same technology that did that is being used by police to end pursuits, by foreign militaries to test microwave weapons that kill engines from 50 meters away, and by Congress to write a law that will sit inside every new car sold in America starting 2027. The countermeasures people are buying to fight it are either federal felonies or do not work at all. That video drops next week. Carpenter said you need a warrant for location data, but Senators Ron Wyden and Edward Markey investigated and found that Toyota, Nissan, Subaru, Volkswagen, BMW, Mazda, Mercedes-Benz, and Kia will hand over location data in response to a subpoena, with no judge required. Only 5 manufacturers require an actual warrant: GM, Ford, Honda, Stellantis, and Tesla. Only Tesla tells the car owner about the request. In November 2025, the Associated Press exposed that U.S. Border Patrol had been monitoring millions of American drivers through license plate readers hidden in traffic drums and barrels along highways. When they flagged a vehicle, they would pass a referral to local police, who would pull the driver over for something minor: a rolling stop, window tint, a dangling air freshener. The driver was almost never told the stop originated from a federal surveillance system that had been analyzing weeks of their travel history. Sarah Hussein, a staff attorney at the Electronic Frontier Foundation, said it directly. When you have these cars on the roads constantly capturing information, even when they are parked, the police can look to them as a resource. Meanwhile, an Austin used car dealership once installed remote immobilization technology to make sure buyers paid their bills. A disgruntled ex-employee logged into the system and disabled every single car in the lot. Engines stalled. Horns honked until batteries died. That's the fragility built into remote control as a feature. Representative Thomas Massey introduced an amendment in January 2026 to defund Section 24220 entirely. It failed 229 to 201. The repeal bill, the No-Kill Switches in Cars Act, House Resolution 1137, remains stalled, so the mandate stands. From 2027, every new car gets passive monitoring and the ability to limit its own operation. The Fourth Amendment analysis around who can access impairment event data is genuinely unsettled. Whether insurers, law enforcement, or fleet managers can access this telematics data without warrants remains an open question. I still have that cracked windshield, by the way. I have not fixed it. But every time I start the engine now, I notice the little connected services icon on the dashboard I never used to look at. It was always on. I just was not paying attention. Before you go, 2 more videos I think you will want to see. If everything I just told you about who else is touching your steering wheel left you uncomfortable, the first one will take that feeling further. It is the story of how police can now stop your car while you are driving 59,000 times and counting, using a system that has been quietly running on American highways since 2009. The part most people do not realize is that the law controlling it almost did not survive a vote in January. That video is on screen right now, and after that, watch the one about the 40-year-old network running inside every car you have ever owned. It is called the CAN bus, and it has no encryption, no authentication, and no locks on the doors. Thieves are exploiting it to steal vehicles in under a minute. Law enforcement is using it to pull text messages, location history, and audio recordings out of cars years after the fact. Both of those videos are right here. Pick whichever one bothers you more. Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.